Business, I am Pius Kujubaka. Tax consultant Francis Timobo is calling on government to aggressively enforce its value-added tax reforms to prevent revenue shortfalls. This follows government's failure to achieve its revenue target for the first 11 months of last year, although it managed to collect 185 billion cedis as against a target of 200 billion cedis. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Timobo emphasized the need for effective implementation to meet revenue goals.
So the tax reform has taken off quite good. I mean, the law is fantastic. The recoupling of the levies, businesses are happy. The challenge ahead is the implementation and how quickly we can change behavior so that compliance can, take off. Remember, government, took a bet on compliance by even abolishing some of the taxes. So in the event that compliance does not pick up quickly, then there's going to be a problem because some taxes are gone. So hopefully government will sustain and continue to sustain its education. More measures in terms of compliance will go ahead. We've seen at the port some AI being adopted in terms of valuation. We've also seen some more enforcement. I think recently we saw some about 85 million cedis which were going to be evaded in taxes. So all these compliance measures should be helping government to close the gap, and that's what we want to see more.
Well, this evening, President John Mahama has appointed Mr. Aaron Kano as the acting commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. The appointment, which takes effect immediately, brings a battle-tested veteran with over 30 years of experience in trade facilitation and border security to the forefront of the nation's economic defense. Mr. Kano succeeds Brigadier General Glover Ashong Anan, whose leadership was formally acknowledged by the GRA board and management as they welcomed the new chief. Mr. Kano's rise to the top of the Customs Division is defined by a deep operational background. Before this elevation, he served as the officer in charge of port operations, where he was responsible for the critical enforcement of customs law and streamlining of revenue collection. Mr. Kano has already played a pivotal role in implementing electronic valuation systems and strategic projects aimed at reducing cargo clearance turnaround times. These initiatives are seen as essential for aligning Ghana's customs administration with international best practices and fostering an environment for legitimate trade. The GRA believes this appointment marks a significant step in strengthening the country's economic growth through more secure and efficient trade systems. Now, President John Mahama has cautioned that the recent macroeconomic stability must not be mistaken for structural economic transformation. He warned that Ghana risks stagnation unless deeper industrial reforms are pursued. Speaking at the presidential dialogue with private sector a while ago, President Mahama acknowledged signs of recovery following a period of severe economic turbulence.
Ghana's economy has emerged from a period of severe turbulence. We are beginning to see positive signals. Relative stabilization of the currency, improved investor sentiment, strengthened business confidence, new private capital investments in manufacturing and processing. These outcomes reflect deliberate fiscal consolidation, value-added tax rationalization, removal of distortionary levies, and a determined effort to restore macroeconomic credibility. But let me be clear, stabilization is not equal to transformation. For over 5 decades, Ghana's manufacturing sector has contributed around 10% to GDP. Meanwhile, emerging Asian economies starting from a similar basis have achieved manufacturing share of 20% to 30% of GDP and thereby creating mass employment and export competitiveness. And so we need to change our trajectory. I've therefore set a national target. Manufacturing must contribute at least 15% of GDP by the year 2030.
In a related development, senior finance lecturer at the University of Cape Coast Business School, Professor Seram Kawo, says it is premature to conclude that Ghana's economy has fully recovered, warning that lingering challenges in revenue mobilization and infrastructure development could undermine recent macroeconomic gains. He was reacting to government's claims of strong fiscal improvements as part of a 2025 economic turnaround.
So there are two ways that we can look at that. We can look at it in terms of the macroeconomic indicators, inflation, exchange rate, the interest rates that we have in the country. We can say that we have turned around the corner, but it is too early to say that we have turned around the corner totally when our revenue mobilization is still problematic, when our infrastructure development is still under consideration. Those things have to come on board. We are too early to say that we have turned around the corner when we still have politicians who have also not agreed totally to the reset agenda by the President John Dramani Mahama. And so we still need to be on them. With the finance ministry needs to ensure that the right things are done. Revenue loopholes are still open. They must be closed. And then our taxes must be used for the right things over time.
And to some other stories, the Ghana Sports Fund has taken a decisive step towards strengthening its institutions and ensuring long-term sustainability after a two-day strategic training and engagement session sponsored by GCB Bank PLC. The engagement brought together the fund's board, administration and technical team in what officials described as a practical, forward-looking collaboration designed not to merely provide financial services, but to build a structured investment-ready sports financing institution for Ghana. Ivy Setoji has more in this report.
The Ghana Sports Fund hosted a two-day training and engagement session supported by the GCB Bank. The aim is to equip the fund with the tools, systems, and strategic guidance to transform sports development across the country.
We from GCB see this collaboration more as a partnership. We believe that working with the sports fund will go beyond just the financial support in building up a fund. Our athletes, our sportsmen have been at disadvantaged. We haven't developed that area, and our bank shares the vision of growing talents, taking them to the next level and delivering for Ghana, and we are prepared to support. Beyond financial capabilities, we are here to support, put the objective policy together, the governance and the structures that will help you go beyond just raising funds and supporting athletes, but building a sustainable program that will go beyond our generation.
Professor Koyo Enim Wright is the board chairperson for the Ghana Sports Fund.
I may not look it, but I did so much sports when I was in school. 100-meter dash, short put, long jump, high jump, everything. And so sports is something that keeps us all energized, brings us all together. And so to be able to be in a position to expand that dream, enlarge that dream, and actually make it something that responds to the gut reaction and the gut sense of Ghanaians is a privilege. And so all of us on the board are really looking forward to this charge, and we will not let Ghanaians down.
The administrator of the Ghana Sports Fund, Dr. David Kofi Waku, described the GCB partnership as exceeding expectations, highlighting adversary support on investments, institutional systems, and sustainability frameworks.
GCB is a bank that cuts across all the whatever you can expect from a bank, both local and abroad, that is ready to go the full length and calling upon other stakeholders. We want to see the telecos, we want to see other financial institutions, we want to receive businessmen and women, high net worth profile people who will be interested to see Ghana Sports Fund succeed. For sport development in Ghana is welcome.
The Deputy Administrator, Simon Pierre, praised the training for its hands-on approach.
I think they have very good intentions and innovations, and the Sports Fund cannot wait to take advantage of this opportunity. And I think that we look forward to many of such engagements in order to sharpen both sides on what to expect in the future.
Ivy Satoji, Joy News, Accra.
And that's it for Prime Business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Daniel Quentin is next with Prime Sports.